As a Christian, I've gone through different phases in my life, but it all had to do with my walk with Christ. I like the example of the butterfly. It starts as an egg, becomes a caterpillar, goes into a cocoon, and comes out as a butterfly. But it was always the same species. At one point, I was lost, but I was called. I had faith in Jesus Christ, and I was saved by grace. I was a targeted individual for many years, and I repented of my sins many years after I had faith in Jesus Christ. And I found that my targeting had to do with sin patterns and demons. I prayed to receive the Holy Ghost, and it happened. The phases that a Christian goes through have to do with belief and faith. Unlike a caterpillar or a butterfly, a Christian or a non-believer can stay in one phase forever. A lot of people never have faith in Jesus Christ, and they stay lost their entire lives, and they wind up paying the ultimate price. There are Christians that stay in the fiery trial, the targeted individual phase, lifelong. There are Christians that are born again, but they are cessationists. They refuse to believe that speaking in tongues is for today. So I'm going to start talking about my entire walk with Christ instead of just focusing on one phase. I've started to get Christian subscribers that have never been targeted or never have seen Mandela effect changes. Besides gang stalking, I've experienced narcissistic abuse. I've had the haunted house experience, and there have been non-targeted individuals that have experienced narcissistic abuse, and also there's been many cases of haunted houses that the people living there have never been targeted. Satan attacks Christians in different ways to cause confusion. It used to confuse me. I could see a pattern now. So I've experienced 3 works of grace. The first was faith in Jesus Christ, resulting in salvation. The second work of grace is when I repented of my sins. I went through a deliverance. I experienced a cleansing, which was a result of a crisis experience. I was born of God. The third work of grace is when I was baptized in the Holy Ghost, and I began to pray in an unknown tongue. Now if I stayed in the targeted individual phase, I'd just be in the fiery trial. And anyway, we're not spies, we're not criminals, we're Christians, and we have an entire walk with Christ.